everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Live from Frank's Office. It's Tuesday. I know a lot of you are probably getting ready for a nice taco dinner, so I won't keep you. In fact, Carmine and I went and knocked on our neighbor's door across the street, and they said, "No, we're preparing tacos for dinner." And apparently, their 5-year-old, when he woke up yesterday, the first thing he said was, in a loud, ebullient voice, "It's Taco Tuesday!" And what's not exciting about Taco Tuesday? So hopefully you're getting to have some tacos today. I'm not sure what we're doing for dinner. In fact, I don't think we have anything planned, so we may end up ordering because currently my wife is still outside with Carmine and chatting with our neighbors. I'm still trying to get some work done, which, believe it or not, includes this, because as fun as this is, and as much as I love talking with you, this is a little bit of work. So I think we may end up ordering in today. But what I'm excited about today, I'm excited about a number of things. I love just everything. There's so much, especially when it's nice weather like this, so much going on. What I'm excited about today is the moon. We are going to have a harvest moon and a lunar eclipse tonight. So that's very exciting. The other thing I'm excited about is tonight, or it might be up already, there is a brand new episode of Only Murders in the Building on now. That is the one new television program that my wife and I watch. We watch it together, and it's only a half hour, so we're actually able to start and finish a whole episode before we have to pause it 5 times and continue with everything that we're doing. So that is certainly exciting. What I'm trying to figure out is, I was invited to 4 parties back to back this week on 4 different days of the week. Now, in my days of being footloose and fancy free and not working nights, that would be just great. I hope my wife is not telling the fellow that I raced against that I hurt my calf. I fear that she might be. See, she started to tell his wife about it, but I'm hoping she didn't tell him. Okay. We'll come back to that. So it would not be unusual for me to go out every night. Now, if I go out once a week, it's a lot. But I was invited to Jeremy Murphy's book party for his book. He's been on the show several times, including for his new book, Too Good to Fact Check. So I was invited to that tonight, and I gave him such a hard time about not inviting me, about not throwing a book party. I feel bad skipping it, but given the fact that my calf is still not 100% and I have a lot of work to do, I kind of don't want to go in early for that. Tomorrow, the Manhattan Institute is having their big media party, which is always a lot of fun. But then on Thursday night, my friend Lee, who has her own public relations and consulting firm, she's throwing a similar media mixer. So I don't think it behooves me to go to both. I'm going to have to pick one, either the Manhattan Institute party or the Lee Harrington party, which initially I thought was the same thing because Lee used to work at the Manhattan Institute, and I think she still does work with Manhattan Institute. So I'm not sure if it's feasible for me to go to both, and I'll talk to Rachel about that tonight. So then Friday, I was invited to this thing in New Jersey, but Rachel and I are going to have a rare date night where just the two of us go out with no events or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's very difficult to pick which of these to go to. I wish you could go to everything, but my hours and what I'm currently in the middle of in terms of being a father and my schedule, it's just not conducive at all to going out all the time. All right. What else do I have for you? Hey, if you didn't hear any of this morning's show, I thought it was quite interesting. Please give it a listen when you can. Talk with Vinnie Parco. Talked with Dominic Carter, who joins us just about every day. Oh, tonight, this is what I was going to mention that I'm excited about. Tonight, we are going to have a harvest moon and a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is going to take place around 10:44. So please be sure to watch it. And let me see these photos. You can email me the photos, or you can go and paste them to our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Radio Marano. I would love to see these photos, any good photos that you get of the moon. They're saying it might be a little cloudy for us to see the whole lunar eclipse, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to talking with Dr. Sky, Steve Cates, because not only is there a lunar eclipse coming our way tonight, but there are asteroids. There's a stadium-sized asteroid that is heading in our direction. So we'll get into that as well. Those of you kind enough to watch, please be so good as to like, comment, and share. And hopefully that'll help other people, help other people discover what we're doing. Mark After Dark says, I'll be sleeping at that time. Mark After Dark also says, go to the one that's closer. Well, they're all in Manhattan. Except the one Friday that's in New Jersey that I'm definitely not going to, because my wife and I are going to go out. Richard Luthman, who I hear is in town, saying Luna Netta. Very, very profound there. I'm not quite up to date on my French or my Latin. So that's that. All right. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Saturday night, I was waiting for my wife to come home for this party, so kind of a surprise party for her. I'll share some of the details later. But let's see what's going on outside. I'm just trying to keep an eye on what's going on outside. All right. So on Saturday night, rather, I end up watching a rerun of my favorite Boston Legal episode, Son of the Defender. This episode might be one of my favorite hours in the history of television. It's from season 4 of Boston Legal. Such a great show, always. But this episode, it's not even a particularly complex plot. The acting is great. The story, very simple. The way they go back in time to highlight a case from 1957 and use actual footage of William Shatner playing a lawyer on a show called The Defenders is just so brilliant. And they use this Billy Joel song, And So It Goes. And I will tell you, I keep watching this episode over and over again. I'm in tears every single time that I watch this episode. I'm getting, actually, I don't know if it's goosebumps or just a tingling in the back of my neck just thinking about it. This episode is one of the few episodes that I've ever seen on any dramatic television series where I legitimately feel that I can empathize with every single character in the episode. And it's a magical episode of television. So if you are a Boston Legal fan, even a casual fan, but even if you're not, I strongly recommend checking out this episode, Son of the Defender. And that has made that Billy Joel song, And So It Goes, one of my absolute favorites. My thanks to, my picture is crooked. Yeah, I don't know why, Paul, I don't know why it keeps getting crooked, but I'll work on straightening it later. My thanks to Sid Rosenberg for having me on his program this morning. I enjoyed coming on to talk about not only this latest Trump assassination attempt, but the situation involving the scandals involving City Hall and Mayor Adams and the prospect of Joe Borelli potentially running for mayor. I'd certainly love to see Joe Borelli run for mayor. I would sleep better if Joe Borelli were mayor, I will tell you that. Mark After Dark on Instagram says, isn't William Shatner on that show? Yes, he was. And D827 says, hi, Frank. I love Boston Legal too. Good. So that's all very good. Yeah, it's a wonderful program. So, yeah, I would love to see Joe Borelli run for mayor. I'm hoping it's not a special election. I'm hoping that Adams does not need to resign. But we'll see what happens. Dan Fratellone checking in. Dan, I don't know if you saw the video I did on Saturday, but I showcased our 5th place trophy for the tournament on Saturday. I am still waiting to hear about what became of the protest of that second game that we were robbed in. We'll see. I will let you know what the protest committee decides on that front. But I'm not sure it's going to get us bumped up in the standings, but maybe we'll get a rematch with that team sometime soon. So who knows? My thanks again, as I did on the radio and in that prior video, to everyone that played in Saturday's softball tournament. I certainly had fun. I hope all of you did as well. Let me tell you what's coming up on the radio tonight. In addition to Dr. Sky, I'm going to be joined by, obviously there's a lot going on with this P. Diddy situation. I mean, this is wild. This indictment that was unsealed against Sean Puffy Combs, and the lawyer for the son of Sean P. Diddy Combs, Justin, is Jeffrey Lichtman, a regular guest of our show. And basically, he's very close to this case and this investigation. So Jeffrey Lichtman is going to join me exclusively tonight in the 2 a.m. hour to talk about this P. Diddy case. I had to bump what we had planned there, and hopefully we'll be able to reschedule those folks for another day. And Jeffrey's going to join me. We'll talk about that. Additionally, I'm going to be joined by Dr. Thayer Ahmed, who is an emergency room physician who went to Gaza earlier this year to treat people that were injured in this war. And he actually met with President Biden back in April and walked out of a meeting with President Biden. So we're going to get into his take on what's happening with the situation in Gaza and try to separate fact from fiction on this. We'll see. All right. See, Richard Luthman says Diddy is done 120 years like Keith Raniere. Well, look, I'm sure some people said the same thing about you, and here you are, free as a bird. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? If not, I will encourage you to listen to this morning's podcast if you didn't get to hear it. You can go to fmwabc.com and listen to any portion of the show that you might have missed. If you have not yet subscribed to what we're doing, please become a subscriber. You can go to facebook.com/become supporter/Morano fan. Or as Brandon always says, you can just go and basically click the overview button under the comments box, then scroll to the bottom and click the subscribe button. It is the best 99 cents a month you are ever going to spend. At least I hope it will be. I don't know. Hopefully. So that's tonight's show, and that's what we got going on. I want to remind you, we got this big event coming up on Thursday, November 14th, that I'm doing with Elliot Gordon at the Park East Synagogue. Please come to that. If you want tickets, just Google Frank Morano and Elliot Gordon, and it comes right up. And it's going to be a fun event. He's going to be doing a salute to the comedians of the Catskills. Stacy, I already listened to your show last night. It was great. Thank you, Stacy. I'm looking forward to going on your show on September 25th. That'll be great, and we'll post it up here when it's done. Dan says you're always a class act. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. You're not so bad yourself. Dan Fratellone, one of the people that is almost always universally liked. Then in terms of that's about it. That's about all I have going on. Got the moon. We got Only Murders in the Building. We got this cigar that I started that I'm looking forward to finishing. Jeffrey Lichtman, Dr. Sky, and Dr. Thayer Ahmed tonight. A lot going on. But we'll see where it all goes. All right. I'll see you on the radio.